Hi folks, welcome back to Stacey Can. Today I'm going to dehydrate some dill. I pickled some dilly beans this week and I have a bunch of leftover dill, as you can see, so I'm gonna go ahead and dehydrate some of it. So I have fresh dill throughout the winter. Before I go over all of the information here, go ahead and hit like and subscribe down below, and you can follow along in the show notes as well. And so the ingredients that you need simply is the herb of choice, which in this case is dill, a dehydrator, and some silicone mats. You do need something that you can put in that doesn't go through. These little mats that come with it are mesh, and they have a bunch of little holes in it so that the flour and such can slide through. So that is all the stuff that you need, and some scissors to kind of cut up your stuff there. And so with all that, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is pull out my tray, and I have replaced it with the silicone mat, and I'm just going to start cutting up parts of the dill here. So this is the flour, and you can go ahead and just I'm going to leave some of the stem on and just lay it here because I'm going to definitely dehydrate the flour, but then you can also dehydrate the fronds. Some of these fronds don't look that great. Let me see this one. This one looks like it's kind of dying a bit, so I'm going to put that off to the side. So make sure you get the best looking dill that you can find, and you know, there's quite a bit on here, so I am not going to have a hard time finding really good dill. Now, when it comes to like these really big flowers like so, go ahead and cut the stem off completely, and which is what I'm doing here, and then you can just kind of lay it all flat. These are still kind of the seeds, so these have not completely and I'm going to cut off the stem with these two and just leave the seed. So this is going to be dill seed, so you can extract just the dill seed from it. There's a lot of ways that you can do this, and if you want to do different trays for different things, you can do that too. It's really kind of up to you as to what you would like to do with it. So this is all I'm doing, is just prepping and then moving some of the stuff that I'm not going to use off to the side. The fronds here, you can just go ahead and set them off and leave them as is. These are the fronds, so the little green bits that you see at the grocery store, those are fronds. You rarely see, I mean, you can find dill seed, which is what these flowers will do, but the fronds, hello Bobo, Bobo is making an appearance. Hi, sweet boy. He's sniffing away at my feet. You can't see him. But this is normally what you see at the grocery store, is the fronds, which they're great for cooking, etc. But I still really like the flour for dehydrating. That's for sure. I said I like the flour for dehydrating. I mean, I like the flour for pickling. I also like it for dehydrating, but when it comes to pickling, the flour is where you get all the flavor from. So I've got some of the fronds done here. So now I'm going to just lay this mesh mat over the top. I would lay one of the silicone ones over there, but I only have enough for each tray. The reason why you want to do this, you put a paper towel or something, but this will just kind of keep it, when you turn the dehydrator on, it'll keep it from everything blowing around in the dehydrator, just because it's all light and fluffy stuff. So I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to put this on top, and then it does kind of smush it down a little bit, which is nice too. And then just set it inside the tray there, and keep going until you're done. Got all my trays in the dehydrator here, and I've set the temperature to 105 degrees. You can do this between 95 and 105 degrees dehydrating herbs. That's one of the reasons why you can air dry, especially in warmer climates. Air drying is fine. You can air dry wherever. just gonna take longer the more humidity you have and the cooler it is outside. So you can dehydrate on your countertop, but dry herbs especially, or hang them. There's a lot of ways to do that, but this is a little quicker. So I have turned it on to 105 degrees, and I'm going to turn it on to, it's about 4 hours or so, but I'm gonna check it after 2 and see how we're doing. So I am done. This is the day after, because I kind of did it overnight. And this took about 6 hours. I set it originally for 4 and then checked it after I went to bed the next morning, because mine shuts off automatically. And the timer was, it worked out really well, the 4 hours, but it needed a little bit more time. So I did it for another 2, and that worked out fine. So this did take about 6 hours. I was also using some dill seed, and it's pretty easy to do to remove the seeds from this. I'm just pulling it off. I've got a couple of bowls here. You'll notice I have 2. I have a sieve here as well that I can put some of the fronds in. But at the moment, I'm just removing the seeds from their stem. Here's one of the seeds here, or the stems with the seeds on it. And I just literally I grab them and I sort of just do a little twist with my fingers, and they just fall right off. It seems to be a really easy way to remove the seeds from the stems. This one's kind of nice. It's got a little bit more of a handle, so I'm just holding onto that. I'm just grabbing them together, giving it a bit of a twist, and they just twist right off, the seeds do. And it smells so good. So if you want something a little smoother, you can also just do the dill flower here, and that's pretty easy to pull apart too. You just kind of use your finger and just remove the little flower bits, the dried flower bits, and they pop off pretty nicely as well. Another thing you can do is you can put the little dill flower in here, and just in a sieve like this, and the flower petals kind of come off, and then it leaves the stems in the sieve, so you know you're not having to pick a bunch of stems out like so. And they're fine. The stems are edible, basically. They're just kind of hard, and they're just not as pliable, in my opinion, for cooking. Here's a tray of the fronds. You see these little fronds here? This is what you normally see at grocery stores. And I'm just putting these in the sieve as well, and then you just kind of smush it around, break it up, and it's a great way to remove the stem, because these stems are pretty tough, because you just really want the frond, not the stem itself. And this is how you dehydrate some dill seed and dill flower and fronds. I did combine the flower and the fronds together here. I just didn't want to separate it. And then here is the dill seed. I did separate those because sometimes you can take dill seed and use a mortar pestle and squish it up and make it into more of a powdery consistency if you would like. But just note this much: when you're making fresh herbs and dehydrating fresh herbs, there's a lot more pungency to it. So you sometimes need less. Often you need less. And I would suggest using less and then having a little taste and then adding more if needed, because it's very, very fragrant and very flavorful. So that's how you do it. And it's really simple and easy, and you can put it in whatever you use dill with, and the dill seed would be fantastic if you're making kind of a savory bread or a focaccia. Focaccia with the dill seed in there, that would be really, really tasty. Also, just using dill where you use dill and mixed in with egg salad or eggs or however you want to use dill. It's very flavorful, very tasty, and I highly recommend it. So that's how you do it. It's pretty simple and pretty straightforward. So the information, etc., is down below in the show notes. And while you're down there, you want to hit like and subscribe, because that does help. And if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, feedback, concerns, by all means, please please reach out to me. I'm on Facebook at Stacey Can. You can at me on Instagram and TikTok at Stacey Can. My website is www.staceycancan.com, and my email is info@staceycancan.com, and I'm on LinkedIn at Stacey Can. So thanks so much for joining me today, and until next time, happy canning.